Hello, everyone. Today we're going to explore a significant yet often overlooked piece of American history, David Walker's Appeal to the Colored Citizens of the World, published in 1829. This document was a daring call to action against the institution of slavery and marked a turning point in the abolitionist movement. David Walker's passionate words challenged both black and white Americans to confront the injustice around them. David Walker was born to a free mother and an enslaved father in Wilmington, North Carolina around 1797. By 1825, Walker had moved to Boston where he ran a clothing shop. His personal experience with racial inequality in both the North and South inspired him to take a radical stance. Before the Appeal, many abolitionists promoted gradual emancipation or colonization where freed black Americans would be sent to Africa. Walker, however, rejected these ideas and urged the enslaved people to resist, even violently if necessary. After Walker published his appeal, he relied on sailors who could deliver the pamphlets to southern ports. He also used his own clothing business to distribute his pamphlets by sewing them into his clothing, which would be discovered by slaves. The appeal also caused panic among Southern slaveholders, prompting states to tighten restrictions on both free and enslaved black people, fearing the appeal would lead to uprisings. This resonated with both white and black abolitionists, which later fueled the Civil War and the eventual end of slavery in the United States. To understand why Walker's appeal was so revolutionary, let's take a look at the United States in the 1820s. The institution of slavery was deeply embedded in the American life, especially in the South, where it formed the backbone of the economy. Meanwhile, free black people in the North faced discrimination, limited rights, and lack of economic opportunity. In the 1820s, abolitionist groups were beginning to form, especially in cities like Boston. However, even within abolitionist circles, many still viewed the end of slavery as an economic or political matter rather than a moral one. David Walker's background played a significant role in shaping his radical views as a free black man. He witnessed the brutal realities of slavery in the South and the severe discrimination that free black people faced in the North. Walker knew firsthand that freedom from slavery did not equate to equality in American society. Walker was frustrated with both the slow progress of abolitionist movement and the reluctance of black leaders to advocate for resistance. This motivated him to write the appeal as a call for immediate action against oppression. Walker's appeal is structured around three powerful arguments that condemn the institution of slavery, criticized American hypocrisy, and called for black resistance. Walker begins by stating that all people, regardless of race, deserve the same fundamental rights. He argues that black people are as deserving of freedom and respect as any white person. This was a radical stance in 1829, as even many white abolitionists did not believe in full equality. He has stated, I ask you, O my brethren, are we men? Did our Creator make us to be slaves to dust and ashes like ourselves? Walker points out the hypocrisy in Americans' founding ideals. The United States was built on principles of liberty and equality, yet it continued to enslave millions of people. This was a direct criticism of both the government and society at large. America is more our country than it is the whites. We have enriched it with our blood and tears, Walker stated. Perhaps the more controversial part of the appeal was Walker's call for black people to resist their oppression, even by violent means if necessary. This was a revolutionary idea that alarmed white Americans and empowered black communities. It is no more harm for you to kill a man who is trying to kill you than it is for you to take a drink of water when thirsty, Walker stated. Walker's appeal sent shockwaves throughout American society. In 1830, Governor William Giles of Virginia sent this letter to Mayor Harrison Gray Otis of Boston, where he thanked him for his words against Walker's appeal. While some abolitionists praised Walker's boldness, others feared his call for resistance might harm the movement by alienating the moderate supporters. Still, Walker's work inspired more black abolitionists to adopt a similar stance. In the South, the appeal was met with outrage. Southern states banned the document, fearing it might inspire slave rebellions. Some states went as far as to issue a bounty for Walker's capture or death. Among black communities, Walker's appeal sparked hope and a sense of empowerment. It called for unity, self-respect, and an unwavering demand for equality. Walker's appeal became a lasting symbol of black resistance and empowerment. It laid the groundwork for a more assertive abolitionist movement, one that would inspire future leaders like Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman. Walker's vision of unity among black people transcended his time, emphasizing the need for collective action in the fight for justice. His influence stretched well into the Civil War era, beyond resonating with generations of activism. David Walker's appeal to the colored citizens of the world was more than just a critique of slavery. It was rallying cry for equality, justice, and resistance. His words challenged the nation and inspired future generations to demand their rights and fight for their freedom. Walker's legacy reminded us that real change often requires both courage and sacrifice. Walker's legacy is a powerful reminder of the impact that words can have on society. David Walker died only 2 months after he published his appeal. At first, the background of his death was unknown, and many thought he was poisoned, but it was later discovered that he died of tuberculosis. Appreciate you for listening to me, and I hope this presentation has helped shed light on the importance of Walker's contributions to the abolitionist movement and American history.